Thanks for joining us today as we take you on a tour of Coulee City, Washington, and its surrounding area. Coulee City is located approximately 200 miles east of Seattle, and it's in close proximity to numerous lakes and recreational activities. Thanks again for joining, and I hope you enjoy the tour. Our first stop was a hike along the Lake Lenoir Caves. It's about 1.5 miles round trip, and you have a 200-foot elevation gain. Most of it's pretty easy going, but there are some rocky areas, so if you've got little ones or pets with you, you just want to be aware. What's really cool about it is the shallow caves that you see along the hike were actually created during the Great Missoula Flood. Water pushed chunks of these huge basalt rocks from the walls, and early settlers or early natives here would use it as a place for shelter. It's pretty cool to look at, a little bit eerie because it looks like some of the chunks are coming down, but you should check it out.
Kind of creepy looking up at that. What do you think about living in here, Jace?
Acts like somebody's got a little spot back there.
Oh wow. Good job, Jace. Now you have to give me the king of the mountain sign. Our next stop was the Dry Falls Visitor Center. The now Dry Falls, as the name states, were known as the largest waterfalls in geologic history. They spanned 3.5 miles wide and had a 400-foot plus drop. In comparison, Niagara Falls only is 1 mile wide and has a 165-foot drop, so you can only imagine how big these were when they were in their glory. Also important to note at the Visitor Center, they have an excellent food station and wonderful onion rings. They were probably some of the best I've ever had.
Here's get up, look down. Comes out. Fly.
Boasting 12 million cubic yards of concrete, Grand Coulee Dam is one of the largest concrete structures in the world. It is also the largest hydropower producer in the United States. 21 billion kilowatt hours of electricity are produced by this dam in 1 year. That's enough to supply 11.2 million houses for an entire year. This dam supplies power to 11 states. Coulee City is nestled right next to Sun Lake's Dry Falls State Park. One of the more prominent lakes that you'll see when you're there is Banks Lake. It is actually 27 miles long, and it's man-made, formed by North Dam near Grand Coulee and Dry Falls Dam near Coulee City. It was filled with water from Franklin D. Roosevelt Reservoir, actually Lake Roosevelt as most of us know it. The shoreline is full of beautiful basalt cliffs and talus slopes. The dry uplands have shallow soils and rocky outcrops. This lake also houses 23 islands, which is pretty impressive to me. It's an amazing thing to see day, night, or otherwise.
take the bottom of that and like throw it out? Thank you. You want to get started on pumping one, Jace? Oh, you go doing your sunscreen. Good job. Good job.
It's a nice little spot here.
Yeah, I love it.
So here we are. We just got done with our first adventure, cliff diving, right?
Cliff jumping.
Cliff jumping,
Cliff
not
diving?
dive.
I didn't dive.
We didn't dive.
I did not dive.
There was no diving here. But we definitely jumped, and it was, oh my gosh. What'd you think, Jace?
That was probably the most fun I've ever had in my whole entire life.
What'd you think, Rob?
It was awesome. Got to do
Yeah.
it again for the first time in a long time, and it was an absolute blast. Water was great. Perfect day.
Yep. Where are we?
We are at that was Deep Lake, and I think these are all part of Sun Lakes, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. And Eastern Washington, and so our trip to Washington is almost wrapped up, and we're headed out tomorrow. It's been a great trip.
We have had a blast.
Don't want it to end.
Thanks for joining. So, before we go into our cliff jumping, we think it's very important that you know that part of this cliff jumping was Jace overcoming a huge fear.
Like a big fear.
Yes.
Like a really big fear.
And what was that fear?
Afraid of heights. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened to lead up to you overcoming this fear and being able to cliff jump.
Well, so I was afraid of getting on our trailer's roof, and one day we were, where were we? About to come into Colorado. Cosmopolis,
Washington.
Washington. Yep.
Yes.
And so I was just trying to get on the roof, and it's just I couldn't do it. And then I just told myself I was just gonna go. And I got up there. I crawled around at first, and then I stood up. So
Yeah.
it's so if anybody's out there trying to get away from the fear of heights, just know that just do it. Yeah, it's pretty much just overcome it and just do it. If you
Okay, so you gotta give me the pre-jump take. What do you think?
very scared, nervous, I'm
No way.
probably not gonna jump.
Nah, this is a piece of cake.
Yikes!
You're psyching yourself out now.
I am psyching myself out, aren't I?
Maybe a little. Heard one go. Somebody took the plunge. Woohoo! I just heard another one.
And we're here.
All right. Yeah.
Look up there.
Oh, that's kind of pretty, huh? Right there. What do you think, Jace?
You seen this one, Jake?
How about right here? Oh, yeah. Okay. So right off of here. Okay, okay, okay.
I told him I'd wait for you guys in the water.
All right. You got this, big guy. Woo! That was insanely fun. Yay!
Woo! I can go! He did it! Yay!
Good job, Jason.
For joining us as we toured around Coulee City, Washington. And especially thank you to Julie, Jessica, Kendall, and Debbie for making it such a fun adventure, and we look forward to more with you. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys soon.